So we have a lot to get through, so I am going to turn things over right now to Dewayne, and he's going to take us through the first couple of things.
Got to stay at the front. First thing, this was one of the big ones on everybody's, what do they like about us, the support staff here. So I want to talk a little bit here about help and what all help is. Does everybody know everything? Or is there anyone that knows everything that help will do for you? Anybody? No. I don't know it all intuitively either. There's a lot of stuff that we offer for you. The help team, Miss Christina out there, Nicole, as well as Karen, myself, and Zach, we're all part of your support staff. From listing services to contract to close, whatever you need. I guess the big thing behind this is if you don't know, ask. Just email help and we will let you know if we can do it for you or not. If it's something that we can't do for you, we may turn around and tell you, we'd love to do that for you, but would you go ask Mike if we can? We've done everything from delivering stuff way down, where was that at, Miss Lisa?
Rex, Georgia.
Rex. That's where we thought it was going to be, was Rex, but it ended up being near Columbus. So we have sent Zach a long ways away. And I'll tell you, there is no thing that is too big for you to ask for us to do. It doesn't mean that we're going to be able to accommodate it all, if that makes sense. As Mike would say, go sell more houses and the world is yours. We will do absolutely anything and everything to help you. On this help, you're kind of wondering where you go. I have added these to Brokermint, which I'll talk more about in a second. In the library section, the office forms, we have the packages. There are actually 3 levels to help. You have the associate, which all of you get. There is an elite level, which is the next one down there. That is if you are over 5 million in production. So you are eligible for elite. I didn't take the time to put the 3rd one up there. It's the executive level. And I did that purposefully because those who know, they get those extra perks. And that is at 15 million in production. So for instance, Bob's emails are monitored. Lisa's emails are monitored for. So we can just go in and grab her stuff. Yeah, very scary, but it also takes the burden of us having to go to them, ask them for something. We can just search their email and be able to get it. All right, makes sense? So there are levels to it. Again, associates level, everybody gets. If you go on there and click on it, you can download the actual package. You can see all of the stuff that we do offer with help. Same thing with elite, executive. You'll know if you're eligible for that. Mike will be trying to do whatever he can to help you. Included in the help services is Zach, our delivery guy, the lovely delivery guy. Everybody knows him and loves him. Again, he'll go out, do installs, he'll do whatever you need out in the field within reason, and just ask. That's going to be my key point to help. Help at C21 Connect Realty. Can you do this for me? If you don't ask, you won't know, and the worst we can do is say no, right? So Zach, he's all over the place all the time, and we need to keep him busy. I want to keep him busier than what he is right now. Keep that in mind. Kid works about 6 hours a day, but gets paid full time. So let's fill him up. Let's keep him employed. That's a good mic line, right? Let's keep him employed. Additionally, with the van, for those of you that don't know, you can check out the van. You can park it in your driveway. It's a billboard. It's a rolling billboard. So if you want it for a weekend, as long as nobody else has planned on using it, I think Tom here requested for the 23rd of October, this a couple weekends away. So, shucks. So yes, you can also get the van. Just ask. We will make sure that it's free and get you signed up for it. I want to jump into Brokermint, which is our back office software. This is your contract to close. A lot of you are not using this, okay? This is your main tool here. This will keep you connected with a bunch of different stuff just by going to the dashboard. Everything's at a click of a button, okay? So make sure you're logging on to Brokermint. If you're not on there, you can ask me. The video up here is Mike's morning calls, his 8 a.m. session. So that's what gets loaded up into there daily. That's yesterday's, I believe, right? Indoor cats, outdoor cats. Yeah. Maybe a couple of days ago, something like that, whenever I took the screenshot. So that's the video that's uploaded there. Moving along, want to hit these important links for all of you new agents. We have our touring agent program. You all, it seems to be very successful. People that have used it, raise your hand, that have hired touring agents or been a touring agent. If you want the opportunity to go out and show houses, do things for other agents that are unable to because their schedules don't allow them to, get signed up on the touring agent schedule. That is our first stop. So the first thing, say for instance, Casey uses it a lot. Casey says, I need a showing done tomorrow at these 3 properties. Who's available? The first thing that Christina does is goes to this schedule to see who's available. Then if there's nobody on there, that's when you see the posts that say, on Workplace that say, I need a touring agent, somebody to cover something, is there anybody available? All right. If you have open on your schedule, get signed up as a touring agent so that you can cover that stuff. You'll be first in line to get that stuff. As a new agent, it's a great tool. You can learn a lot about the business. If you have questions on what you should be doing, we are working on a video series of, and this may seem silly to some of you, but as new agents, you don't know how to open a lockbox necessarily. You don't know that you have to push up on the bottom to make it light up. It's just one of those things. We've all been there and done it, so there's no picking on anybody for not knowing. Next up, open house list. Agents, if you want your houses open, you can send that into the help desk as well. Nicole will get it on the schedule and let people know. You can go here and check regularly. Again, if you want to, if you're looking for an open house, you're looking for something to do as an agent, just to sit in an open house, you can also email in the help, and we will try and find one for you. You can also post on Workplace, right? Next up here, I want to touch on the Earnest Money program. There seems to be a lot of confusion on this, and I guess it just makes sense to me, right? So with the Earnest Money, 2 ways to deposit earnest money yourself. The first is our website, and that's it right there, em.c21connectrealty.com. You can copy that link and send it to the buyer, send it to them to do an ACH deposit of the earnest money, okay? It's like doing online bill pay. Everybody's done that, I'm pretty sure at this point. However, there are some people who are not tech savvy, and they'll say, I don't want to do this, I don't trust this ACH system, so I want to write you a physical check or get you a cashier's check. We also have our Cadence Bank Earnest Money Deposit app. Right now, I think there are 3 active users. Jessica, Jeff, and myself. So we're the only ones that have kept up our password. Really easy to use, it's mobile deposit. So you don't even have to take the check, you can meet the client where they're at, you can get a copy of the check, you can take a picture of it, deposit it, email help, say, here's a picture of the check, it was mobile deposited, and you're done. You don't have to drive it back to the office, you don't have to do any of that stuff. So if you are interested in getting your mobile app set back up so that you can easily deposit earnest money when needed, it requires a password change every 90 days. If you ignore that, they'll lock your account out, so keep up your password change. Let me know. Email me, okay? So I'll take the time to go back through and get you set up so that you can do the mobile deposits if you want to. Otherwise, you're going to pick up the check and you're driving it back to the office as soon as humanly possible. You pick up a check at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That does not mean you go home and leave it in your car, go home, spend the night, to come in tomorrow afternoon sometime and drop off the earnest money. Earnest money is a hot potato. You need to get it out of your hands absolutely as soon as possible. Both of these tools allow you to not even touch it. It's protecting your license. Make sense? Yeah? Mr. J's up.
Thanks, sir.
I think I'm right on time, too. We're trying to get y'all out of here early.
Okay, so let's talk CRMs, okay? We have a number of different tools that are company provided. A lot of them look very similar, all function very, very similarly, do the same jobs. But in my opinion, they are vastly underutilized within the organization, okay? And my goal is to try to change that. I spoke to an agent recently in this office that was spending a great deal of money, a ludicrous amount of money, in my opinion, for a third-party CRM. And when I asked them how many they had in there, it was less than 50 clients that were loaded in there. Okay? And if that's what works for you, great. But let me introduce a little phrase to you. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. All right? We have these tools. They accomplish all the same things. If it's not perfect, that's okay. We all can't be Rip Pruitt. We all can't put out the perfect video with the perfect CRM, with the perfect embedded video message, things like that. Don't let that stop you from doing this, and these tools are available. If you need help using them, if you need help figuring them out, I'm here for you, okay? So let's talk about them. The first one, oops, there we go, is your Zap CRM, okay? Zap is the one, for anybody that's been in a coaching session with me, the first priority is get your contacts in Zap, and then once you've got them in there, you can do a lot of other things, all right? So that's real easy to do with a spreadsheet. You load your contacts in, and then you can take the next step in that. Zap's kind of claim to fame is the ability to use some predictive software to determine when somebody's likely to be either buying or selling. To be honest with you, there's some elements of that that are helpful. A lot of it, in my opinion, is not. But there are some things in here that I didn't even really know about until I started helping you guys with this. Is they have a follow-up plan library within there that has things like phone scripts and email scripts and follow-up, the steps of a follow-up plan. They're already there. So those of you that are that have uttered the words to me, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to put out in my emails. They're there. It's already there. Go explore it. Is it perfect? No. Is it a step in the right direction? Yeah. You've got to crawl before you can run. All right? So start somewhere and then refine the process from there. Okay? There are email that I had the follow-up script library, there's phone libraries, there's email script libraries, ready to look at properties, a few reasons buying a home and establishing equity is a smart financial decision. These are topics that are just there for you to utilize. Use it. Do I recommend that you copy and paste it and make it 100% canned? No. I do not, but this is a place to start, okay? Business Builder is the other CRM that we have. Business Builder, once you load your contacts into Zap, everything automatically goes over into Business Builder, and everything is there for you to start doing your marketing through Business Builder. Business Builder's claim to fame, it's able to design, create, and manage marketing campaigns. It also keeps track of your clients. And as you're interacting with a client, you can leave a note and say, hey, I talked to them today, found out that they're not ready until September next year. Okay, guess what? You can put a reminder in there that's going to prompt you in August of next year to reach out to them and say, hey, last year we talked about it being in September. Okay? I have done things as simple as writing down their dog's name in the notes within the CRM. And the next time I talk to them, I say, hey, how's Rufus doing? And they're like, how do you remember that? I don't. I have a CRM. That's what it's for, okay? Within Business Builder, this is where you keep track of your contacts. Once you make contact with a client, you record a phone call. You record the fact that you sent them an email. It keeps track of all of that for you, and then you can set a reminder for the next step. Just like when you leave any appointment with a client, you want to be setting the next appointment with them. This is where you do it. Okay? You're managing your email campaigns. This came across very, very light, but right there in the design library, there are 870 templates available. Did y'all hear me? Those of you that are saying, I don't know what to put out, I don't have the content, it's not pretty. It's there. okay? Utilize it. And a lot of those templates are 100% customizable. I do not recommend, and we've all heard Mike say this, the canned messages that everybody does, the newsletters. They're there. They're there if you want to use them. Do I recommend that you use them? No, but if you got to start somewhere, so start there, all right? And then you can adapt, customize the templates to make them look pretty, to make them put your own personal flair on that, so again, that they know, like, and trust you, and they get that message through your CRM, okay? MoxieWorks is coming soon, all right? MoxieWorks is the new solution that I don't think it's actually going to replace either Business Builder or Zap. At least in the short term, it's not going to replace them. I have used elements of Moxie in the past, and from what I've seen, I've been very impressed with it. And I think it's going to be a vastly superior product to either one of the two that we have in the near future. I'm trying to get my name on the list with corporate to get an early release of it, and so that I'm better prepared to help you guys when it does roll out. But we're looking at first quarter of next year for it. Okay.
Who likes to win awards? That's every hand in the room doesn't go up. But at some point you've won an award, wanted to win an award, tried to win an award, came up just short, and got really frustrated about it. If you play sports as a recreation after hours, you definitely know what that's like. If you're part of a gym has the group workouts early in the morning, where's Jay? Some of those have awards. You hit your goals, you get an award. So we have awards as well, and they're not a part of your marketing strategy, but it feels good to win them. And one of them in particular, Masters Ruby at the top, it's 149,000 in AGCI. If you hit that, you not only win that award, but you also get a couple of other things, another thing as well. So I just wanted to put that up there to touch on that. Those are the awards right now. At the very bottom is the Masters Ruby. That is, in case you're wondering, that is just under $5 million in production. So if you hit that level, you will get the Masters Ruby Award. Here is where we stand right now for the awards in the office. Public knowledge, Bob Clarkson at Double Centurion already. Let's see, Lisa Lewis, then Leanne Maxwell, David McGee, Casey Sears, April Rogers, and Rip Pruitt. That's the 7 that we can fit on that screen. That's where we are so far. So one thing that all of those people have already achieved is, I'm going to come back to that, a trip to Lake Toxaway. So Lake Toxaway is a getaway, and it usually happens in the middle of the summer. This next year is July 19th through the 21st. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of new faces in the room, it's a trip to a mountain lake resort in North Carolina. And it usually works out every time that it's 94 degrees here with 98% humidity, and it's in the 70s or low 80s there. It's beautiful. Everyone has a great time. And since he's not in the room, we can talk about it. You get to see Mike in a whole new light, because the Mike that goes to North Carolina is not the Mike that comes in here. Just put it that way, all right? So we're 200, this screenshot was taken yesterday, I believe, 237 days away right now. We have several agents, all the ones on the pass screen that have already qualified for it, and I believe a couple of more. It's $5 million in production, June to June, or if you do this. These are quality service awards, all right? This is the surveys that are sent out when you have a closing. These awards do matter, This matters way more than this. All right? This is, like Mike likes to say, yay, if you win that award, you and your mommy are going to be so happy about it. And you can email her a picture of it. Don't put it on your social media holding up your brand new shiny award. It doesn't do anything for you. This will, however, because this is basically telling everyone how your clients feel about you. This should be a big piece of your marketing. Okay? And if you don't know how to do this, you don't know how to utilize it, by all means, come and see me. There is an asterisk down here because now that we have been 6 months into this Google My Business push, I've noticed a trend. A lot of people come to me and they're like, well, yeah, I got the quality service surveys. They're going out and people are filling them out. That's all good. What? That does not replace your Google reviews by verified Google users logged into their Google account and reviewing you on Google My Business. So you still need to make sure that you push all of those out. Your Google My Business has to have 5 minimum of those before even the first one counts, okay? So this is the one you want to look at. And by the way, if you hit thresholds on this, Dwayne, what are the thresholds on this for the Talks Away trip?
You have to get the award. It is 8 return surveys with 90% for above approval.
8, that's it. 8 return surveys and you qualify for Lake Talks Away as well, okay? So that is awards and Lake Talks Away. We do have a marketing department here. If you're not aware, then you should come see me. We should have a conversation. We will help you with your Facebook, your Google, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your email marketing, your website, your CRM and how to use it. One thing that I want to tag on to what Jay was saying about CRMs, you have Zap and Business Builder. In the marketing department, we teach you that those two things function in different ways. Business Builder is a CRM for the many. It is communicating with 500 people, or in Rip's case, 9,000 people at once. And that's how you send out embedded video emails, which you should be sending out every week. That's for the many. Once you move someone to a one-on-one status and you're communicating with the client, Zap is more attuned for that. So you will use both of them. They do speak to each other. You don't have to manage one and manage the other. They do speak to each other. Once you set them up, you start putting people into Zap and they will be fed over into your Business Builder automatically. It does not work the other way. If you put someone manually into Business Builder, it will not feed into Zap. One direction, okay? We help you with all of these things that you see on the screen. We do have video equipment. We had a video editor that unfortunately is no longer with the company. So I am helping you guys with your lower thirds and your little animations and things to go on your videos. Can help you shoot some of your videos. The main thing I can help you with, the vast majority of you, is one thing that Jay said too earlier that I'm going to steal is don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Because I have people that sit down in my office all the time and say, I just don't like the way I look. I made a video, I watched it back, I don't sound good. I was telling Mike this morning on the Power Talk that I spent 20 years on the radio, and the very first time, he said, the very first time you were on the air, were you nervous? And I said, my hands were shaking like this. They were sweaty, they were shaking. I could barely get my hand on the microphone button to activate it and slide it up. I was that terrified. I could hear the trembling in my voice when I listened back to it. Of course I was. But by the end of it, by the end of that 20 years, when I would be on the air, I would be talking to someone in the room, seeing the clock go 3, 2, and I would still continue my conversation and go 1 second, bam, and I would go right into what I was going to say, turn it off and go, anyway. And then I would go right back into what I was saying. I didn't even think twice about it. You will get that way making videos. Jessica Fisher, what was it, a year ago? I guess about a year? About a year ago, she started making videos. We stood in the cellar, in the large conference room, the blue conference room up front. And she was nervous when she was making her first videos. She rehearsed probably for hours before these videos. And now, who has seen a Jessica Fisher video lately? Give it up for Jessica for where she's come. Holy smoke! You will be the same way. I'm not saying you have to do cartwheels in the parking lot. You can if you want to. But Jessica is just a video machine now, and she's such a pro at it. You will be the same way. It just takes doing it. So make that first video. Come see me. Let's go over it, critique it, talk about it, and let's improve a few things and move on to the next one. And you will see the growth, okay? We have equipped with microphones. If you don't have microphones, we tell you all to buy one from Amazon. They're $40. If you don't have one, I have a couple that you can use while you're making videos here. We still have a few people who haven't picked one up yet. Where are you? All right, Global Referral Network. I am going to turn this back over to Jay for a minute.
Let me just tag team on what he said on the videos. When you stumble, when you feel uncomfortable with yourself, to me, when I'm watching that kind of a video, that to me conveys authenticity. Mm-hmm. That's a real human being that may be a little bit nervous or maybe says in the middle of their sentence. I do that all the time. And it just conveys authenticity. You're going to make yourself more endearing to someone for little tiny mistakes like that. So don't think too much about it, all right? So we have a global referral network. Who here sees the messages on Workplace from somebody in the C21 university that's like, who's got a good agent in Fort Lauderdale area? Does anybody else find that as frustrating as I do? I do. There is a global referral network specifically made for this purpose, okay? You as an agent can do business anywhere in this country. Yes, you are licensed in the state of Georgia. If you've got a client that's relocating to California, to Florida, to the Carolinas, whatever, let me rephrase that. You can't do business there, you can still earn money from there, okay? So that's when you refer your client that is moving elsewhere to another agent in that area, preferably a Century 21 agent. That would be your first alternative. If there happens to not be one in that area, then we can extend that search a little bit further. But that's how you do this, is through the Global Referral Network. I don't believe everyone has access to get to it, but you don't need to, because all you've got to do is send a note to the help desk and we can plug you into it. We can give you a list of names. Here's your script with your client. So you're going to, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Are you working with an agent there yet? No. Great. Are you interested in working with somebody that I would recommend to you? And here's what I promise to you is I'm going to vet that person and make sure that they are as qualified to do business with you as I feel I would want to be able to do business with you in that location. And they're, of course, going to say yes because they've fallen in love with you. If they could take you with you, they would. But they can't. So that's when you go through the Global Referral Network, you get a handful of names, and you make some phone calls. You check the sales history of the names that you've gotten. You call them, you vet them personally, have a conversation with them, tell them about your client, give them that personal interaction. Then you do a broker-to-broker referral, and you make some money off the referral. It's literally that simple.
So I want to touch real quick on the power of using this global referral network. And this is a personal experience of mine. I had a referral, my brother, who I referred out to another agent. A Century 21 agent, actually. We did not go through the global referral network. My brother's a USAA member. And so I ended up getting cut out of the deal. not getting my referral. If it had been logged through the Global Referral Network, I would have made my referral fee off of it, because the Century 21 brokerage had to pay USAA through, what's Realogy's big old referral network?
Cardis.
Cardis, through Cardis, had to pay them a 40% referral fee. Because my brother went online and did that. If he would have said, hey, I'm doing this, I would have turned around and said, well, if that's the case, I'll give you my whole commission. You know, I'm not in it for the money like that, but he had the opportunity to get $900, but instead that agent paid 40% referral to Cardis. So if it was plugged in through the Global Referral Network, it would have been good. All right, so send them to the Global Referral Network. We'll get it all set up, and we'll do all the communicating for you. All right?
And please, by all means, do that before you go broadcasting to the world. I'm looking for an agent in, you know, Podunk, whatever. All right? Okay, let's talk easy buy. We're going to talk
easy buy, then easy sell, and I know this is what everybody wants to hear.
That's right. So easy buy, all right? 2 different programs available, and then within those 2, there's subset of programs within there too, okay? Easy buy, this is for a client that you are trying to help buy, and you have either one of 2 scenarios. Either they have a property that they need to sell and have to sell in order to get into the second property, or alternately, you're trying to plug them in this environment. They're a VA loan, which we all know is going to be at the bottom of the stack in this market with competitive multiple offer scenarios. These are programs that can help solve those 2 solutions. There are 2 of them. Knock is one of the partner vendors, and Ribbon is the other one. Knock's business model is predicated on them being the lender. Okay, they're going to be the holder of the mortgage and the processor of the mortgage. All right, Ribbon doesn't care who is the lender. As long as you get them pre-qualified, you submit your pre-qualification to Ribbon, and for a fee, they will back your client's offer with a cash offer. You can take a VA loan and turn them into a cash. They just went from the bottom of the pile of multiple offers up to the top. Okay? There's a fee associated with doing that, but the convenience of making this possible is well worth it. I personally have done a Ribbon. I had a VA buyer that we put in 4 or 5 offers and had the predictable results of bottom of the pile, gonna lose every time. We plugged them into Ribbon, you did a cash offer, next thing you know, boom, we're under contract, okay? There's a fee associated with it. In my case, it was a $260,000 price point, and the fee, because we were closing with his lender, was only 1%. $2,600 to go from bottom of the pile to the top, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Are the rates usually higher?
Let's talk about that in just a second. Okay, so within Knock now has 2 solutions. Up until recently, they only had one, and the one was basically a bridge loan. They would allow you, and so this is the front screenshot from their website. Sorry, did that the wrong way. I'm buying and selling, which is I have another property to sell. They're gonna qualify you for the mortgage for the second property, and they're gonna use a portion of the equity that's in the old property to be able to provide you a bridge loan. Okay. That allows your client to put an offer in on the second property that is not contingent upon the sale of their current property. All right. It's not a cash offer, but it is now a non-contingent offer with a conventional loan. Still a fabulous, still puts you not at the top of the pile, but pretty darn close. Okay. They just recently came out with basically a solution that is exactly like Ribbon, except for Ribbon, again, it's your lender. They're the lender on this one, so your client pre-qualifies and they can present a cash offer. Okay, fee for this is $1,400. Okay, it's 1% if you go with Ribbon, but flat fee for them is $1,400, and I think it's $1,450. Okay, so a much more cost-effective solution, and I think that's going to be a game changer for them. They're going to capture a lot of market share from Ribbon, in my opinion. Okay, if they go the other way, it's 1.25% of the sales price of the new home. Okay. By the way, they will also give you a portion of that equity to rehab the old property, so that in case it needs flooring, if you want to get the maximum value for it, they'll give you some money to do things like flooring and paint and things like that to be able to get the property, the value up for the resale.
And they just roll that? Sorry.
Yep, they roll it in. Yep.
Do they pick the service provider, or do you go out and find a floor guy?
All they're doing is stroking a check. You go find the contractors. You do the work. They don't care. Okay. Questions about either one of the knock programs?
Hey, Jay, can you provide do you have a sheet you might be able to provide us on some of those fees that you mentioned a minute ago?
Yeah, I'm actually working on because I know this is confusing, folks, and it's taken me researching these ad nauseum to figure them out. I'm working on kind of a decision matrix. If your client is this is what they provide. So I'm working on that. Stand by. Was trying to have it ready for today. There's too much information to try to assimilate. Okay, Ribbon is the other program. Again, Ribbon is, we don't care who your lender is, submit your client. They'll give them their buying power, which is basically whatever the amount is on the pre-approval letter for the most part. And then once you find the perfect property for your client, you submit that property to Ribbon. Ribbon does, for lack of a better term, a desktop appraisal, and they'll come back and say the home is listed at $300. You'll probably see a value of, we'll back your client's cash offer up to $320. Okay, and they provide appraisal gap coverage in there. So if it only comes in at $310 and you're under contract at $320, they stroke off the $10,000. They don't care. It's appraisal gap. Okay. With Ribbon, they cover their costs in two different ways. If your client can close within the time frame of when you've written the contract with their lender, I keep hitting the wrong button, so sorry, folks. It's called Ribbon Boost, and it's the 1% is their service fee. Okay, 1% of the sales price of the house. If Ribbon has to step in and buy the home for your client because, say, they couldn't sell the other one within the 30 days or something along those lines, they absolutely will do that, and they'll rent it to your client for a rental amount that is pre-negotiated, pre-established. Your client has to sign off on it. They'll do that for up to 180 days while you're selling the other property. Make sense? If that's the case, the fee is 2 to 2.4%. I think it's 2.4% in Metro Atlanta. Other metros, it's less. Okay? Questions about that? Yes, sir.
I have a question about the knock.
Yeah.
Now, how does that work? Do you contact them before you put in an offer on the home?
Yes. So both of these programs, if you were part of the huddle yesterday, you heard me talk about your toolkit. These are tools that you need to put in your kit bag, all right? The time that you need them, or the time that once you've got the client and you're trying to figure out how to navigate this difficult scenario, you're almost too late at that point. So both of these programs you have to be an agent that is registered to do these programs. So there may be a webinar that you have to do. There may be a certification process you have to do to get registered to do them. So I would recommend do that now. Do it in your spare time, because when you've got a client and they're trying to make an offer on a house this weekend, you don't have time to go sit and do a webinar and try to scramble to figure all this stuff out. All right? Yes, sir.
Also, how long does it take them to get back to
I don't know about knock. I don't have any firsthand experience yet, but I'm in the process of doing one of those. Ribbon, they're usually within a few hours, 12 hours at the most, in order for them to get you that value back. And if you're in a real serious hurry, they ask you as part of the property submission process, are there multiple offers, and what's your deadline to have your offer submitted? And they'll prioritize it accordingly. Okay, I will tell you one other thing. Both of these programs have their sweet spot where they like to do business in terms of price points for properties. And I think they'll go up to 700,000 price points. I'm not sure about knock. Ribbon is around 700,000. And the closer you get to the upper end of that range, the more risk averse they become. So if you, like in my previous example, 300,000, they may back your cash offer up to 320. 700,000, you know, they may back your offer up to 680. I would just, you know, in which case, I mean, I have submitted several in that range, and they were like, and it was just like, okay, it's not even worth the trouble. Thank you very much, but no. Okay.
Ooh, let's talk easy sell. Yay. Everybody's using this, right?
Yes.
As part of your talking points, all of that. If you're not doing it right. This has been huge this year, especially in this market. 11.2 million, I just pulled the report this morning, is how much we have closed in easy sell transactions. So give it up to yourselves. Use it, use it, use it. Couple things that I want to hit on this real quick here. I think we all know it fairly well. Signed authorization to show unlisted property or listing agreement. You must have them to submit. If you don't, your commission's not protected, as well as a few other things. But you must have them. It's a non-negotiable. If you don't have it, don't submit it. Well, I want to reduce my commission. I only want to pay you 2.5% for doing this. The answer is no. We have plenty of people in here that are charging 3.5%, 4% for this. It's convenience. Makes it really easy on the seller. You pay for convenience. Buy a gallon of milk at the convenience store, you're going to pay $6 a gallon, right? Just is what it is. Had an interesting one on this just yesterday, and I'm going to pick on Mr. Trevon here because he didn't know any better. Zillow came back and asked for our signed agreement. We do not provide co-op agents, the other side of the transaction, our agreements with the seller. All right? So if you ever get any pushback on that, it was really a weird one, and I shot back to them and said, they basically said they're trying to make sure that we have the authorization to solicit offers, the written authorization to solicit offers. And my response basically went, although I appreciate you trying to keep Trevon out of real estate trouble with the commission, I can assure you that we have a signed agreement that we need. So send the offer or don't send the offer, I don't care. But we don't provide our listing agreements or signed authorizations, the brokerage relationship. We kind of went over that at a huddle recently. The brokerage relationship, we're not providing that to the other side. It's none of their business. Good deal? Questions on easy sell? Mike says 11 offers. There are actually 14 total right now. It fluctuates. Some come, some go. This is an old slide. I didn't want to update it because it is constantly changing. There's investors out there. They're in the market. They spent all their money. They're no longer in the market. So top dollar has gone up. It was previously $607. We recently had one accepted at $675,000. So is this going to be too much for them? I don't know. Just submit it in. We'll find out. The worst they can say is no. There's a list of some of the buyers that I gave out before, and this has changed. Do want to point out the differences, though. We still only have the 3 retail buyers. They're the ones that are currently paying top dollar. Zillow, Open Door, and OfferPad. Open Door, you get your 3%. They also give you a 1% bonus on each transaction. When you hit 3 transactions with them, on that 3rd transaction, they give you the 1% plus $5,000. So recently had a $260,000 house that came back with $18,000 in commission on it because it was the third transaction, right? So pretty crazy, insane stuff. OfferPad just recently revised all theirs. They're paying a 3% referral on unlisted properties. So before the property goes on the market, they'll pay you 3%. Your signed authorization will get you 3%. That's a 6% commission. Think about that for a second. For easy, for convenience, for not having to take pictures, for not having to do all the marketing, answer phone calls, do all that stuff. A 6% commission. So that's new. That's only been out for about a month now, a little under a month. So just wanted to make y'all aware of that. Any questions on Easy Sell, Mr. McGee?
Townhomes and condos?
Depends on the zip code. The one that's at 675 is a townhome in Smyrna. It makes no sense to me. No sense at all.
Have we tried a condo yet?
I'm sure there have been some submitted. Not many condos that I've seen go through, but has anybody closed a condo? Yeah. I'd be leery of a condo myself personally right about now. So, any other questions? No? All right.
It's 11:29 and a half. We got a 60-second video.
Woo! Actually, I think it's about 2 minutes.
Oh, no, you picked it.
I did pick it.
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. You don't try to build a wall. You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall that's ever been built. You don't start there. You say, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. And you do that every single day, and soon you have a wall. I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. You know, while the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day, you'll never be able to communicate with people, with your artistry, the way that you want. So make a choice, right? You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way.
Confucius said one time, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it. Yeah. Period.
All right, I want to thank you all for coming and giving us your attention on this today. I know it was a little bit different, but I do want to point out one thing that he said in that video. The only way you get better is hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. So that's all of you showing up at 8 a.m. for the practice sessions. So pat yourselves on the back for that, all right? Let's go have some fun today.